Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And I am back here bringing you the news. And along with the news, you are going to see me work my way up to number 1 in Arena. So what I want you to do while I'm talking about what has been going on, which hasn't been too much lately, but while you're watching, I want you to watch my Stormtrooper Han and just kind of watch how he makes a huge difference. Because the first few teams that I fight off against, very similar to what I'm running. It's kind of the meta, as we all know. But those mods that are going on, the little differences that they make can definitely change the way the game is played. Because as you know, the mods kind of mix the meta up just a little bit, but not too much. And how I have my Han working right now, as I've said with previous mod videos, is he has a lot of speed mods that provide a bonus speed. So he goes early, which in turn gets everyone else going later on, like Old Ben. So he gets to go very early before some of the other characters on the other team. So enjoy the gameplay. First 3 battles are me working my way to number 1, and the last 2 are me later on coming back before all the resets for the day. Just kind of recording some gameplays with some other teams that I've been interested in playing against. So enjoy that. But with all that in mind, let's hop right into the news. And as I said, there hasn't been really too much, which is why last week I did not make any news videos. There just wasn't anything to really talk about that was too worthy of attention. But this week there has been a couple things that we'll talk about. Some interesting synergy reworks that they did between Wedge Antilles and Biggs. It was kind of interesting to see how they that worked off. So let's go ahead and talk about them first. So Wedge Antilles, he still is a pay-to-win character, but he is the character of the month for August. So you can get a couple character shards. You won't get too much, but hey, it's something, I suppose. And with him being the character of the month, I believe the reason why they're pushing him as character of the month is because they did all this rework between Biggs and Wedge Antilles. And essentially what they do is now they deal a bit more damage than before because they weren't the most impressive characters. They're more effective against fighting against the Empire, and they both have abilities that they work directly with each other. So as you know, most abilities that characters have right now is that, for example, if you have, let's say, Old Ben, his ability is to give everyone an evasion bonus. Admiral Akbar, he has a rebel bonus, but everyone gets it. It gets that speed bonus from him. What they did with Wedge Antilles and Biggs Darklighter is that they have abilities that directly affect just each and every one of them. And we'll talk about their moves in a second, but it's quite interesting to see how they did this. So you know what, let's just go right into it and just kind of talk about their movesets real quick. And I want to start off with Biggs Darklighter because he's a free-to-play character, very easy to get through our ground war method. I have him, I think, at 3 stars, 4 stars, something like that. He seems more promising than before. I don't know if I'm going to farm him anytime soon. As you guys know, all my Galactic War tokens are going into the painful farming of General Grievous, but he seems pretty cool in an all-rebel team. Just the thing is, with these abilities that both Wedge and Biggs have, is that they have these like anti-Empire abilities, where they get turn meter bonus, or they get, I don't know, some sort of bonus for fighting the Empire. So this will be great for that Rebel Empire event, or that Rebel/Clone Empire event to get the free Vader shards that we had about a month or 2 ago. But you're not going to really see many Empire squads in Arena, which would make them really useful. Only Empire character you really ever see when you play in Arena is Royal Guard, but it looks like these work better when you're playing against the full Empire lineup, which will definitely be beneficial when you play in the Empire Assault or the Assault battles. That may roll out sometime soon. They haven't said anything like that, but it seems like with these reworks, they're kind of aiming to bring it back because people were complaining that the event was kind of hard because Rebels and Clones, they weren't too popular at the time, and Clones, you only can get 1 clone for free-to-play players. So we'll kind of see how that works out. But yeah, let's get into the moveset. So pretty much Biggs' basic attack, the Cadet's aim, it just apparently just deals a little bit more damage than before, and so that's great. He wasn't the craziest hitter. The Comrade in Arms, the special ability, which is it's got a 2-turn cooldown, so once you level it up all the way, and it seems quite useful. At least, well, if you have Wedge Antilles on your side. So how it works is that, before you would just deal physical damage to a character and an ally would assist. So that's nothing new. The new thing is that if Wedge Antilles is present, he also assists, and then all attacks get a 75% more critical chance. So this has the possibility when Wedge is on your team that you can get 3 attacks off. So let's say you have, let's just assume you're running a Rebel squad. So you get Biggs to go, and then Leia comes in with her, 5 million attacks in a row, and then Wedge comes in with his attack. So we're starting to see a lot of these character movesets where we're getting these 3 assists, but they have to fit a certain synergy. I've been seeing that with Chief Nebbit, very promising Jawa in the droid lineup. Essentially, one of his special abilities is kind of the same thing. He does an attack, one person assists, and if that person is a Jawa or a droid, then a 3rd character can come in and assist as well. And this is and it also provides stealth if one of the assisting characters is a Jawa. So we're starting to see this influx of synergy-specific attacks and character synergy-specific attacks like Biggs and Wedge. So it's definitely kind of cool. And then the anti-Empire ability that Biggs is rocking is that he gains 100% turn meter and evasion up for 4 turns after surviving any damage from an Empire enemy or a critical hit from any enemy. So luckily, this special isn't just anti-Empire, it also is anti-critical hit from any enemy, which is nice. But that 100% turn meter and evasion up, it's definitely really nice to have when you're doing that assault battle against the Empire. So he appears to be a decent farm if you want to tackle that Empire event where you can get the 10 Vader shards for free, which is nice. That's what I did. I barely scratched by that. And it looks like with this, it might be a lot easier to have him since some people might have Wedge and can do that event, but at least the anti-Empire ability, it's very nice to have. So let's move on to Wedge. He has a couple of interesting things going on here. So the main thing that kind of bounces off that whole Biggs and Wedge, best friendship going on there is one of the abilities that he has is called Red Leader, and essentially he gets 12% offense and plus 9 speed for each ally with full health, and plus 15% speed, not 15%, I'm sorry, that would be crazy, plus 15 speed for each ally without full health. So he's getting this speed bonus, and this also includes a defeated ally. So he's getting a speed bonus essentially almost no matter what, which is kind of cool. And the Biggs friendship that's going on here is that when Biggs is present, Biggs also gains these bonuses. So essentially, if Biggs is around and Wedge is around, they are getting this crazy, this crazy speed bonus going on here, and this crazy offense bonus as well, which is really, it's really kind of cool when you think about it. I personally, I think this is actually quite neat to have. These characters that specifically work with each other, that kind of follows the franchise, how they're like, besties and stuff like that. A lot of people were talking about, General Grievous and maybe IG-100, since, in all the movies pretty much, he always had these bodyguards with him, the Magna Guards as some people call them. So that would be quite interesting to see something like that. I don't know, maybe a Stormtrooper and a Darth Vader combo going on, since Darth Vader always has Stormtroopers, kind of hovering around him. So it's kind of cool where this is going. It adds a nice element to the game for people who like to farm synergy-specific characters. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how this goes off. And lastly, with Wedge, he's got, in terms of his anti-Empire abilities, he has his special, which essentially his attacks deal 50% more damage to Empire enemies or enemies with 50% health or more. So it's nice. It's not just against Empire because they're not the most popular characters to have right now. So it also works against other enemies as long as they fit a certain criteria. But yeah, so that's kind of neat. I'm wondering if more stuff like that's going to happen. Nebbit's got some cool stuff going on there, and all these abilities between Wedge and Biggs, it's going to be kind of interesting to see if they kind of do this later on. Moving beyond that, For those who are into the Erodiums, they're keeping Geonosian Spy in the Erodium packs, mainly because for the first while, people were complaining how bad the Geonosian Spy was and no one was really buying it. So it seems like they might be extending it, since now they kind of fixed him. He's still not an amazing character from what I hear, but he's out there for those of you who love your Geonosians, because there's so many of them. Geonosians and clones, just a ton of them out there. The one patch that I totally noticed is the whole increase in shipments in terms of raid gear. So the Nubian design tech that got kicked out earlier last week, and they moved the furnaces in. So they're kind of rotating the gear every 2 weeks. That's nothing new to us. We know that. And they increased their frequency. And with the almost a week of furnaces being out, I've seen, 3, 5. For sure at least 6 furnaces, where before I was lucky to see 2 or maybe 3 in the whole 2 weeks. It's been barely a week, and I've already seen for sure at least 6 furnaces. I myself have 3 of them, 3 furnaces, because once I get Anakin ready, he's going to get 2 furnaces to max out. Once I get Ayla Sakura all sorted out, she only needs 1 furnace to be in terms of raid gear, so she's going to be maxed out at one point. So I'm saving that for those future characters. So I definitely recommend, if you're not doing those high raids and you can't really get the gear fast, it might be a good option to take advantage of this. Pretty much just save. If you're especially if you're doing well in arena, you can save the crystals and probably at least buy 1 furnace or so before the 2 weeks expires. Another thing that changed in terms of shipments, it's not the craziest thing. People probably won't be accessing this really all that much, but there's that one table where you can buy mod shipments, and inside the mod shipments they change like the what you see in there and how you see it. So essentially, before you unlock any of the mod challenges, you only get 1, 2, or 3 star mods. That's all you see there. But once you finish all tier 1 mods, you're gonna get 4-star mods to start showing up. So now you're kind of, since you finished all the first level challenges, now you're gonna start seeing the good stuff. And then once you complete all tier 2 mod challenges, then the 5-star mods show up in the shipments. Well, just because you see it doesn't mean you're gonna get it. They are quite expensive. They require crystals. Some of them at one point were requiring hundreds and thousands of credits. So they're not the cheapest, and it's random. You're gonna get some good stuff, you're gonna get some bad stuff, but now they kind of organize when you're seeing when the stuff is dropping, so it kind of corresponds with your progress in the mod challenge table. So if you need help on farming specific characters in those, you don't know who to farm, check out one of my earlier videos. I talked about every synergy that's in the mod challenge table, giving you my opinions on the best characters to farm for those. So definitely check that out if you need help on farming those characters so you can get through all those tier challenges. And then they did a couple random reworks here. Jedi Knight Anakin, he's already amazing. He didn't get a rework, I should say. These are bug fixes. But Jedi Knight Anakin, his abilities are even better. One of his abilities, always on the offensive, which is his leader ability. As you know, when someone dodges, that person whose attack got dodged, they get advantage. Before, there was some weird bug where, let's say they attacked, their attack missed, they got advantage up, but the next time they attacked, their attack was dodged again, they would lose their advantage up. So now your character will keep getting advantage every time their attack is missed. So definitely something to look forward to for those of you who are rocking Anakin. Now his ability is working a lot more stable than before, even though it was already working great before as well. Even the advantage would drop here and there. And yeah, then there's some other random reworks, like a Snowtrooper. I noticed this because I have him at 7 stars. His assault training was broken. One of his abilities is when any character falls, everyone on your squad with Empire characters, they would get a speed bonus with Snowtrooper running with you. And I noticed for some reason it never worked. Luckily they fixed that, but it's not really one of the craziest fixes. No one really has Snowtrooper at a competitive level, but with the Empire events and the mod challenge table, at least Snowtrooper's ability will be useful, because before it was just working for himself, and he was just kind of hogging all of the attention. The thing that I am most excited about is the fact that they're reworking some of the tags on characters. So before, when we were talking in my mod challenge farming guide, when we got the scoundrels, before Stormtrooper Han, IG-88 and Gamma Marine Guard, they were not considered scoundrel. Now in an update coming probably later this week, they are adding those tags. So I have Stormtrooper Han, I have IG-88, and I will now be able to participate in the credit heist, like actually probably 3-star, because I have IG-88 at max gear, Stormtrooper Han on max gear, Cad Bane at gear 8, he's the one I've had for a while now. So now it looks like it is really possible to compete, and a lot of people have those 2 characters. So good news coming, but it seems like they're kind of hinting at there will be more tags added, because they just say example, Gamma Marine Guard, Stormtrooper Han, and IG-88 will now have the scoundrel tag. Maybe there's other characters they haven't mentioned that will get some new tag reworks. So those are only 3 examples they give. Really looking forward to what else has been coming out here. And lastly, in case you guys are wondering, the last news event that we had, we talked about the tank takedown raid with General Grievous. They never announced any dates, but now it looks like it's coming out this coming August. They're just doing some final testing. So there you have it, guys. That's pretty much all the news that happened in the past while here. Let me know what you think about all this. Hopefully the IG-88 Stormtrooper Han's good news for you guys. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.